Hey everyone, what is going on? My name is Live and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm doing pretty well because we've got some pretty good things to talk about here in this video. We've got some things to talk about regarding Payday 3. Possibly nothing that is completely solid confirmed, but we do have now a release window as to when we can expect the game. So, I'm going to be getting into that and talking about it and talking about also what it means for the Payday franchise before and after the game releases, because we've got a bit of time to play around with and a bit of time to discuss. So, before we get into the video, very quickly, I just want to quickly let everyone know that I will not be releasing Modding Payday 2 this weekend. Instead, this video is coming out. I know I promised in the last video that it would be out this weekend, but I don't have the time to edit it for starters, and second off, this takes precedence over some more modding gameplay, so I apologise for those of you waiting for part 2. Expect it next week, that's when I'm planning to drop it now. And also, the gameplay you will see is also modded, because I don't have time to record any actual solid, serious gameplay. I'm literally about to head out right after I make this video, so I'm trying to get this done as quickly as I can without rushing it. So basically, anything I don't need to do, such as record new gameplay, I'm not going to do. So, hope you're all okay with some weird modded gameplay that I have. If I randomly stop in the middle of the gameplay, it's probably from when I was doing a commentary at that point in the video, so ignore that. Just enjoy the gameplay in the background and listen to my hopefully relaxing tones for the rest of the video. Either way, my name is Live. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about some Payday 3. Before we do that, let's roll the intro. Okay, so we have a new article on Starbreeze's website that we're going to be talking about. It was published today, Friday, October 11th, 2019. The title simply says, Starbreeze provides estimate of future cash flows. And it reads, in light of the ongoing reconstruction work, Starbreeze AB provides an estimate of the business's future cash flows from operations. The company estimates that these cash flows will be positive based on expected new publishing agreements in 2020 and an expected release of Payday 3 in 2022 to 2023. The estimate of cash flows from operations for the coming 4 years provided in the form of the following graph, which I'll put on screen now. And as you can see, they're expecting quite the boost in cash flow. A very, very big boost. As you can see, most of that takes place in 2022 and then continuing into 2023, with maybe a slight decrease in the incline as you get to 2023, but nothing really that major. The point being that once we get into 2022, Starbreeze are expecting one heck of an increase in their stock value and their cash flows generally. There's more to the article though. They do explain by saying the cash flows in the graph above are based on the following expected events. First off, the release of Payday 3, which is estimated to take place between 2022 and 2023. Second off, they expect that the publishing agreement for Payday 3 will conclude during the first half of 2020, and an initial payment installment will be received, after which the continued development of the product is financed by the publishing partner. We'll explain this in a minute. It's very businessy, but I will just dumb it down for everyone in a moment, because I mean, I'm not the best with these things, but I have a better idea these days. And also, publishing agreement for Payday Crime will be concluded during the first half of 2020, and an initial payment installment will be received, after which the continued development of the product is financed by the publishing partner. There's more to the article, but I figured this is a good place to just pause for a minute and talk about the most important things, because this is what everyone's talking about. Payday 3 has a expected release window between 2022 and 2023, which means we are expecting maybe 2.5, close to 3 years, or maybe up to 4 years away until we get the next installment in the Payday franchise. This is big news. We've been talking about Payday 3 for a while. It was first confirmed about 3 years ago now, I believe. I lose track. It's been so long since they first announced it, but it's been in development in the shadows, in the background for quite a while. But the worry a lot of us had was that Payday 3's development may as well have been paused while Starbreeze have been on reconstruction. This is a very good sign that either A, they did pause it and are going to make up for that lost time in the next few years, or B, they were developing and they need so much time that it's going to be a while off. And if they need more development time, then hopefully that means there's more going into the game and it's going to be one hell of a big release. And honestly, for the amount of attraction Payday 2 developed over the last 6 years that it's been out, I'm not surprised. Payday 3 has got to deliver exactly how Payday 2 did, if not better. I've done a few theorizing videos on what I think Payday 3 should and shouldn't have in the past. If you haven't checked them out, I'll leave links in the description. They are worth watching. I do quite like doing those theorizing videos, and maybe at some point I'll do one in the next couple months or so, depending on whether we get any more information. But with the release window around that time, it's unlikely that I'll be doing too many of those, because we won't have a lot of information for a good couple of years, I don't think, still. Unless Overkill decides to start drip feeding us stuff, who knows, it's all up for grabs. But please remember, as I said earlier, this is not a confirmed date. The fact that there is such a large window anyway in this article proves that they don't know exactly when the game could release. Maybe they'll release it sooner than 2022 to 2023, maybe it'll end up being afterwards like 2024. We don't know for definite, we just have a window now, which is a lot more than we had before this release went live, so just keep that in mind as you're going forward. But to just basically the rest of the jargon, they're expecting they'll have a publisher signed on for Payday 3 by about mid-2020. That's what they're talking about. Around about June-ish, they're hoping to have a publisher on board to get Payday 3 out the door when it is ready to be developed. So Starbreeze won't be internally publishing this. They're focusing on developing it. Overkill are going to get the game ready to go, and then have someone else on the outside publish the game, the way 505 Games did, I believe, with Payday 2. So, you know, it's kind of a similar premise there. And then for Payday Crime War, I actually didn't hear this around the time that it happened, so a lot of you may not know, but Universal Games' publishing department actually shut down quite recently, so they can no longer publish Payday Crime War because they don't exist to do so. So again, round about halfway through 2020, they're hoping that by that point, they'll have a new publisher for Payday Crime War to help keep pushing out the door and keep getting it the support that the game needs. Because as we know, it is out in some countries at the minute and it is gaining quite a bit of popularity. It's a good, solid mobile game. I don't play it as much as I probably should, but that's only because I don't like mobile FPS games all that much. Call of Duty Mobile is taking the world by storm at the minute, and I haven't tried it because they're not really my bag. But, you know, I'll get into Payday Crime War another time because obviously I'll still deliver the news whether or not I play it too much. But the point being, they're expecting a new developer to arrive, again, around the time they get a publisher on hold for Payday 3. But there is a bit more to the article I want to touch on just very briefly. It's a lot of business jargon, but there's something I want to just kind of highlight a tiny bit. As part of the reconstruction, assets and personnel attributable to the core business have been transferred to two new companies, New Starbreeze Publishing AB and New Starbreeze Studios AB. IP rights make up the majority of the assets that have been transferred to New Starbreeze Publishing AB, and it is in New Starbreeze Publishing AB, I'm going to have to come up with an acronym for that at some point, that the group's cash flows will be generated. So, the point being, Starbreeze is not going to be Starbreeze anymore. Starbreeze is going to become New Starbreeze. That's going to be the term for it. Now, my only guess as to why they're doing this is to try and possibly differentiate from pre-reconstruction and post-reconstruction, so that they could say, you know, before reconstruction, we weren't doing too well with our money, things weren't being balanced very well, you know, there was a lot of focus on things that shouldn't have been, you know, all the issues with Star VR, Overkill's The Walking Dead, all that stuff. But I think they're trying to differentiate so that they say, now we've had the reconstruction, we've learned from our mistakes, and we're going to do so much better than we have done the last few years. We're going to get Payday 3 out, we're going to focus on whatever else we're going on with the Payday franchise. I mean, we've got some predictions I'll get into in a moment, but then also Payday Crime War. So they're trying to make it very clear that they have learned from their mistakes, they've reshuffled, they know what they're doing now, if they didn't already before to at least some extent. But they're going to be coming at it hard and fast and getting things out and getting it out the right way. And I think that's why they're doing this slight rebranding, just to make it quite clear that Starbreeze is not going to be quite the same way as it was before the reconstruction started. And you know what? I'm all for it. From what they've said here, there's not a lot to go off, but it does give us a good idea that they know where their focus is. They know Payday is their cash cow, and they know that's what they need to get out the door. That's the thing I've been saying for all this time, and I'm really glad to see that they're going to be doing that. But that does bring me to the other thing I wanted to talk about, which is why is the Payday 3 release window so far away? And because of that, what are Overkill and Starbreeze going to do in the meantime? Well, as I've said, if they are taking as long as they're going to make Payday 3 because they're adding a lot to the game and making it as heavy as it should be, full of content and gameplay and all sorts, then that justifies that timing for the development. But the question arises of, again, what are they going to do in the meantime? And honestly, I want to remind everyone of a video I did a few months ago. I actually don't know the date I put it up, but that doesn't really matter. A link will be on screen in the description now, where I talked about why Payday 2 on PC might get some new PC DLC. Now, this is just a theory. There's nothing that's ever been confirmed by Overkill or Starbreeze about this, but I've had this nagging feeling for a little while. I just think it would make sense for Overkill to go back on what they said and actually release a few more paid DLCs for Payday 2. I know that they said originally, you know, we're not going to be doing any more paid DLCs for Payday 2. Everything's going to be free. But that was before everything kind of went wrong for them, with all due respect to them. And I think a lot of us, at least I would understand if they chose to go back on that because they're trying to make the money to keep the business afloat and get Payday 3 out the door. I just have this nagging feeling that maybe in the meantime they're going to restart Payday 2's development cycle and they're going to put more DLCs out, maybe new heists, weapons, characters, who knows? I really don't know. I just can't stop this feeling deep inside of me, and if you get that reference, I love you very much. But then the other thing that we obviously need to talk about on this channel, because we are primarily a console news channel, even if we're now trying to bring PC in, which is something I'll touch on in just a moment because I want to clarify something from last week's video. But for console, I would imagine that since there's going to be such a big amount of time between if they do more PC DLC, obviously there'll be a question of whether to transfer that to console. So they still need to catch us up on what we don't have up to this point. There's still a good bit of content console don't have. So I think, you know, we know a console update is coming. I think they really are going to be trying to catch us up to what PC have, so that if they do release more PC DLC, hopefully, just hopefully, console might get it, if not at the same time, then not very long after PC. We need to try and narrow this gap. We need to make it smaller so that there's very little time in between PC and console. Maybe that'll be another focus, getting console DLC up to speed, and if they do release more DLC on PC, they're going to have to consider trying to bring things up to speed. That's what I hope they're going to be doing. Maybe they'll work on this system they mentioned ages ago. They said they were working on a system that would allow them to release the console updates faster. They never said what the system was. They never said what it entailed or what made it notable that it would suddenly make things easier, but they said they were working on something. Maybe they're cooking that too. I really, really don't know. But yes, as I said a minute ago, I just want to cover something very quickly that was brought up in the modding Payday 2 video. For those of you who haven't been around on this channel for a while, you won't know that I've done console news on Payday 2 now for about 2 years, on and off, give or take. And a lot of you who've been around that time have known I've slowly started to incorporate PC stuff here. So I want to just rebrand, or not rebrand as such, but just reiterate what my statement is for what I do on this channel. Console news and console gameplay will always be the priority. If there is console news, it will be out as soon as I can get the news out. I play on Xbox One. I love my Xbox One. I can play Payday on PC, but honestly, despite what's on PC, I prefer playing it on a console. I always have been a console gamer. That ain't gonna change. But what I want to do now is that now I can play Payday 2 on PC. I think it makes complete sense that I try and balance the two out. So console is a priority, but if there's stuff to talk about with PC, I'm not going to ignore that. And that way, there's something to cater to everybody who likes Payday. Because one of the ideas I had is I want to make sure the community is less fragmented. There's a lot of bad blood between console and PC players, and there's a lot of abuse that gets held between people. I mean, this is a very small minority. A lot of people are respectful in the way that they are with their platforms, but I want to try and bring everyone together so that instead of there being these kind of camps where there's PC Payday players and then console Payday players, I want to try and bring that together, and Overkill can help me do that if they can actually try and get the DLC releasing at a similar time if they do more. So, you know, if they release more PC DLC, let's hope they can, you know, get a bit faster on console. Let's hope. But either way, this is all just theorizing, and I don't really know where else to go from there. So, you know, this is probably a good place to bring the video to an end. I know I've just kind of thrown a few things at the wall. I'm hoping some of them will stick, but it's all theorizing because we just don't know for sure yet. I mean, I'm hoping Overkill will give us some information soon to go off with either Payday 2 or on PC or console or Crime War, or just give us something, because things are so quiet at the minute, and all we know is that there is a console update in the works. We just don't know what's going on there. And as I said, I would presume at this point the Switch version is dead, because I just haven't heard anything. Either way, if there's more news, you know I'll report it, so stay tuned, and I'll get it out there as soon as I can. But for the time being, that will bring an end to this video. So if you have enjoyed it, you know what to do. Please do give the video a thumbs up. It is always very much appreciated. And if you are new around here, please consider subscribing, because it's quick, it's free, and I'll always love you for doing so. And if you want to catch more Payday 2 news, this will be the best place to get it, because I'll be posting stuff as soon as I hear about it. And I know it's always a shameless plug, but if you do fancy supporting the channel over on Patreon, it is very much appreciated, and the link will be down in the description below. Donations are never expected, but are always appreciated. And very soon, I'll kick off channel memberships on the channel, because I was trying to think of benefits to run for them, but I might just fire out the memberships anyway, and if anyone wants to just be a part of it without maybe too many rewards to start with, you'll have the opportunity to do that. So, you know, just to try and help the channel keep going, keep funding it, and etc., to, you know, give me all the support that I need to keep these things going. Either way, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next week with a brand new video. Until then, guys, take it easy, look after yourselves, have a great day, and I'll see you all soon.